This is Dispatches from Myrtle Beach with Charles Neal and my son Link from Good Mythical Morning. How you doing, Link?
I'm doing good, Dad. How you doing?
Oh, I've been having a good couple of weeks since we talked the last time. Yeah,
Okay.
Been doing pretty good. I had SOS that we went to for about 10 days and went dancing and had a big time. And then we had
10 days of SOS.
Yeah, 10 days.
Okay.
You can go. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then whenever they shut the doors, if you can make it, and they just switch out DJs at all these at Fat Harold's and Ducks and the Spanish Galleon and all that. Boy, if you can't get enough dancing with that, you just have to go on back home.
And SOS stands for
Society of Stranders.
Stranders. So it actually doesn't have the word shagging in it.
Nope.
I'd
sure
forgotten
don't.
that.
The people that started this, that was
Society of Stranders.
two old lifeguards back in the 60s started this thing.
So because the strand is basically just like the stretch of beach.
Beach, right there. That would be
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Of course, and then we have SOS again in September for 10 more days. So
What's the level of debauchery that's going on here?
just a whole lot of old people dancing and drinking.
Okay. Is there groping?
Well, maybe while you're dancing, may be a little bit of groping, but
Okay.
not a whole lot.
With consent. Consented groping?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. They probably sell a T-shirt down there that says, I consent to groping.
That might be something you want to do.
I'm not saying it's something I want to do. I'm just saying it's something that it's a T-shirt that if it exists anywhere, it's going to exist in Myrtle Beach.
But no, that's what's been going on with me. What's been going on with you? Did you get your mama and your mother-in-law back home?
Oh, yeah. They're back home. They're in their own world again. I don't know why I made that noise. It's like, I spit them back out. Spit them back out across the country. It was a success, though. So I think that they're going to Thelma and Louise it again at some point out here.
Well, that's good.
Because I don't know if any of if Chrissy's dad's gonna make it out here. It might just have to be the Thelma and Louise part 2.
That'll be all right.
But without driving off a cliff. I haven't seen the movie, but I do know that's something that happens, and I'm not saying that I want my mom and mother-in-law to drive off a cliff. I'm not saying that.
No.
Matter of fact, the
Unless
opposite.
you're gonna make a video and have them with a parachute that floats down, and then that might be something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You and Rhett might want to think about.
Okay,
I don't know.
I'm gonna write that down. That's I'm gonna keep that one. That's a good idea.
It's time for another edition of Myrtle Beach Mailbag. Well, Link, last week I asked all of our Myrtle Beach to try to help out and send us some more emails. We were getting a little dry in the emails, and
Right.
they've come through for me this week.
Of course they did.
And so I appreciate it. But don't quit. Just keep sending them in.
Mm-hmm. To where?
Rather be shagging 53 at AOL.com.
That's right.
But one of the emails that I did get was from Jill, and she wants to know, what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
There you go, Jill. That's a good question.
Well, she did good because it involves me and you.
Oh, your answer? I'm in your most adventurous thing?
Yes, I think, and we done it twice.
Twice.
We've been down to Golly in West Virginia, whitewater rafting.
Yes.
The 4th most dangerous whitewater rafting in not the United States, in the world.
Is it really that? I mean, like the 4th most dangerous commercially run rapids.
Because they turned that water loose. You
Right.
remember when we went?
Yeah. Let the dam out.
and then where I fell out of the raft at Dead Man's Rock, and you had to help me get back up because you didn't get through out, but you and the other y'all helped me not stay at Dead Man's Rock and end up dying there and getting back in the boat. Hey, let me tell you, of course, and I don't think you'd ever done whitewater rafting before when we did it the first time.
Nothing to that extent. I had done something more tame.
Well, this was
wild.
There's not anything tame. And y'all can look it up on the internet and look up the Golly. And I think we did it like in March because they had to turn that water loose from up in the mountains when the snow and everything's melting and they can't keep it back. And that's when hey, it's a hell of a ride. Hey, it must have been good because we did it again. I don't think the next year, but 2 years later, I think we did it again.
We did?
We did it twice.
Why am I having a brain fart? I couldn't have told you that we went back and did it again.
Well, we went back.
We did.
Stayed in a little, had to carry some sleeping bags and stuff. And I think somebody else went with us then.
Well, I remember the first time we went, it was Rhett and our college roommate Greg and Greg's dad. And then a guy that I worked with at IBM, Rich.
That's the second time. The first time we went by ourselves. The second time was when all them went with us. We all went together.
You and I went, just me and you, with like strangers in the boat?
Well, yeah, just with, they put us in a boat with 4 other people.
Wow.
I
feel
still got pictures.
You're going to have to show me a picture to jog my memory. It's so strange that I don't remember that. I definitely remember the second time, and I think maybe in my mind they both became one time, but I mean, you also remember the name of the rock, Dead Man's Rock. Like, I don't remember that either.
Yeah.
I've done a number of rafting since then, so I don't know. Maybe, but it seems like you're sharper than I am. It's a bit scary.
Well, that's the most, and I've done some. Hey, listen, I've been hang gliding off the top of Grandfather Mountain.
You did that? That seems crazier than whitewater rafting because you can die doing both of them, but like hang gliding, you could just fall out of the sky.
Well, I had to take classes for like 3 weeks.
Really?
And to learn how to do it.
So you did it
there
solo?
Oh, yeah.
What? I didn't know you did this.
Oh, yeah.
You said this was when?
1972.
1972. Did you do this with a group of people?
Well, I mean, I did it with some other people that were taking the class together.
You didn't do it with anybody that you knew?
No.
You just went up to Grandfather Mountain? You had to take the classes up there in the mountains?
Oh, yeah.
Because
you had to have one of them kind of altimeter thing where you could check the wind and make sure it was blowing good enough so that when you jumped off the platform that you jumped off on, that that the air would catch you. And the first time was pretty. I don't know. That was exhilarating.
Wow. Now, at the end of my street, there's a guy who has a hang glider because every Christmas he takes his hang glider and he hangs it in his tree and he puts a Santa Claus. I don't mean to bring up Santa Claus again. I thought we had gotten done with Santa Claus last week, but it's like Santa Claus is hang gliding. And I talked to him and found out that like this is his hang glider from the 70s, and he would go out to mountaintops around at Los Angeles and hang glide off of it. And he talked about how it was like the most amazing thing, and like you're free and there's no motor and you're just kind of you're really subject to the breeze and the thermals. Yeah. Well, I mean, what was that like to just jump off a platform? What in the world?
I used to go back and forth. There you go.
And is it just a bar? There's nothing to sit in. So you're like, you're holding on to a bar.
Oh, yeah.
You're strapped in, right?
Yep.
So once you learned how to do it, did you do it a lot?
I probably did it 20 times.
Seriously? 20 times? I didn't even know about this.
It's pretty neat.
I mean,
you go up there and I'd do it on the weekend and do it once a day stay for 3 or 4 days. And if the wind was good enough, do it every time. And then I'd go back and about, because certain times of the year is the only time we did it. I did it in the spring.
Did anything ever go sideways for you or anybody else that was there?
Well, we went up there with a bunch of people one time. Maybe the last times I was didn't know, but the last time I did it, that when we got up there and we checked that altimeter thing about how the wind was blowing, and I told them boys, I said, boy, this ain't a good idea. We ain't got enough wind blowing. And the guy that was up there on top that would let you go off, he said, it's pretty iffy today. And one guy, he said, well, it'll be all right, I'll do it. And it won't good. They had to call a rescue squad to come get him. He fell about 40 foot and never did catch the air and fell down there, and they had to go down and get him and bring him back.
Like right at the platform, instead of taking off and being taken by the air, he just went thump and just...
Yeah, didn't catch any breeze or anything.
But he didn't die.
He didn't die. No, but he was hurt.
Oh. And you were like, told you so, sucker! And you rented the hang glider, I guess. Like it was.
No, I own one.
Oh, you own one? So you...
Yeah. Cost too much money to rent one. You could buy one back then for, I don't know, $300 or $400.
Because it's nothing but a sheet. It's a sheet on a.
Yeah. It's like but it made out of kind of the same thing that a parachute's made out of.
That's wild. I can't believe you did that, but I can't believe I had never heard that you had done that. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I might do it tandem, but I don't want to be on my own just floating in the air. It's like I might do it once tandem to experience it, or like paragliding, where it's like not hang gliding, but paragliding or parasailing, whichever one that is.
Parasailing. Yeah,
I would do that.
Me and Nancy's done that a couple.
Not behind a boat though, off a mountain. All right.
Well, we used to do it behind a boat down at Topsail Beach with the hang glider and water ski and be water skiing and take off and hold it up and it take you up in the air.
Okay. All right. Wow. I think that's.
But Jill, I reckon you now it got two things. I didn't even think about that.
That's wild, Dad.
But the one I remembered first was the one that we did together. So I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe we need to go hang gliding together. You can teach me.
Well, that's been, oh, good God, 72, 82, 92, 2002. That's been 40-some years ago. I don't believe I'm going to.
Almost 50, yeah. Okay.
I don't want to hurt you.
All right. I'll ask my neighbor.
The mythical embroidery collection just got bigger. There are 3 new pieces, a tee and a hoodie with a fan favorite blue crystal wash and a white baseball hat with tonal embroidery. Get yours now at mythical.com. Why do you want to learn a new language? Maybe you have an upcoming international trip, want to connect with a family member or friend, or just want to learn a new skill or take on a new hobby. In comes Rosetta Stone, the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app. It truly immerses you in the language you want to learn. They use trusted experts for 30 years with millions of users and 25 languages offered, some of which include Spanish, French, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, and Arabic. Rosetta Stone immerses you in many ways. There are no English translations, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. It's designed for a long-term retention. Plus, they have convenient desktop and app options with audio companion and the ability to download lessons offline. All for an amazing value. A lifetime membership has all 25 languages for any and all languages needed in life. That's lifetime access to all 25 language courses Rosetta Stone offers for 50% off. A steal. Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a limited time, Dispatches from Myrtle Beach listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/dispatches. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/dispatches today. So, Jill, thanks for sending in that email. And then Linka got another one from William, and it says, have you ever been part of a natural disaster evacuation?
Oh, okay. Another good question.
And I have been where we were told to evacuate. When I moved to Mississippi in 1988, I was down there for 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, we went through a category 1 hurricane and a category 3 in 2 weeks.
Oh.
Of course, now I've been through one here, and they wanted us to leave right after we built this house and left. And so, I think a hurricane qualifies as can be a natural disaster.
They told you to evacuate and you didn't?
No.
Because I know you've been through a number of hurricanes. You probably can't even count them between there and South Carolina and North Carolina for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah, because we've been through several that went through and come right up through where you grew up at in Bush Creek and all that up there. But the one in Mississippi that was either pretty close to, I think it got pretty close to a category 4. We were staying at a friend of mine's house, and he had a Lincoln Town Car. This was in 1988 and had a new one. You could see it pick it up off the ground and set it back down and pick it up and set it back down. And then when the storm and when the hurricane went through, you could go outside and look, and you could find pine needles, and it looked like they'd been drove into a tree like a nail, stuck in straight into a tree.
So what would it take for you to heed the evacuation notice now? A direct hit category.
If I knew it was going to be pretty 4, and if it was going to be a 5, I'd be gone.
But not a 4?
I'd have to think about that one. A 4's what, 150?
I don't know, but why you got to think about it? You got people, you got places to go. It's not like you don't come up to North Carolina anyway.
But it's like where we lived at in Mississippi, we stayed without electricity for 10 days.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
And you can't, if you're gone and there ain't no electricity, they won't let you come back to where you live till they get electricity back in.
Oh. Yeah, but do you want to be there? You're thinking as well.
Well, I got a generator.
Okay.
Where I can, after it's all over with and start cleaning it up, if I need to, I can plug up my deep freezes and not lose all my food and everything's so hard to put up.
Okay.
So,
And you could take that hang glider out there and see where it would send you in the storm. Like a
well, I ain't got one no more. But
crazy.
hey, that's just. But yeah, so William, I've been in what you would say a couple of natural disasters where you were supposed to evacuate, but I was pretty hot. I was a lot younger then. I'm older now. I might have to listen to my son if it was going to be pretty bad now. I may have to get my stuff, and I probably, Nancy would probably, if it was going to be too bad, she'd say, "You ain't staying here. We're going somewhere."
That's right. I just remembered. It's not really your decision anyway, is it?
That's
I like that. That puts me at ease a little bit. And yeah, you're not hiding a hang glider somewhere because she'd know about that too.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the hang glider thing. That's wild.
Well, I got one more email from Casey, and this one's pretty neat. It says, Myrtle Beach here writing in from Bermuda. Most northern coral reefs in the world. Link, please come scuba.
Okay.
All right. I may have to learn how to. I'll go. Y'all go scuba and I'll go snorkeling.
Okay.
My boyfriend and I are about to move in together, and it will be both of our first times living with a partner.
Mm-hmm.
What advice do you have on keeping the romance alive and making sure all goes smoothly?
Okay. It's interesting that it's like she anticipates once we move in together, the romance is going to die. Or it's being threatened. But she didn't ask, how are we going to keep from killing each other when we move in together? You know? So I think
she didn't ask
this is a better question. What you think, Dad?
Well, the first thing I thought about when she's having qualms or something, about them moving in together and worrying about their romance and stuff, that she might ought to think about who she's picked as a partner because, my romance, when got married, it didn't end just because we got married. And it shouldn't end for y'all just because y'all been boyfriend and girlfriend together and all that forever. How many years it's been? You didn't tell me how long it's been.
Mm-hmm.
But it ought to be, you ought to know each other well enough that you can know that there's still going to be a spark there somewhere. Like, if you come walking down the hallway and ain't got no clothes on one day and he gets excited about it, then I think you pretty much ought to be able to keep the romance going. And if that ain't working,
if that don't work,
you might have to think about it some, but there's a lot of things that leads up to romance, and it ain't got to be taking your clothes off.
But you did start there.
Oh yeah,
you didn't work up to it. You're like, well, for example, you can walk down the hall completely naked. Now, I do think that for most, in a stereotypical dynamic in a male-female partnership, you've got if the woman's going to walk down, if she's going to show some skin or all the skin, that's a good way to signal. A man can get that signal, It's like it's hard for men to pick up on romantic signals sometimes, or invitations for romance. But if she's walking down the hall completely naked, I think he would get it. Now, that may not work the other way around. If he's gonna,
it might not.
If he's gonna just walk down the hall naked, she might just be like, Well, I'm assuming that you've absentmindedly forgot to put on your underwear. Don't go, you need to go back in the bedroom and put on some underwear. Put on some clothes.
Yeah.
For the guy, he might have to do something different. But I think she, what's her name, Casey? I think Casey might be able to get away with that.
Well, I think, but the other thing, Casey, when you're moving in together and it's your first time with that, it's, having a relationship with somebody is not a 50-50 proposition. It's 100%, 100%. Both of you have to give 100% to try to look after each other and take care of one another. And I think Link and I have talked about this a little bit, and sometimes it's not as hard probably for women, Casey. You can tell your boyfriend that you really do need to learn how to listen to what's going on and what you're talking about and not just let it fly over the top of your head. So listening and...
Don't be oblivious. Be present. And also, it takes work to be romantic, Especially when just walking down the hall naked isn't going to be enough. You got to make some plans. You got to, you got to protect some time for things to percolate. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can, Nancy and I, she probably ain't going to like this, but, we got a little light in the room and we turn all the rest of them off and turn that little light on. And then I turn the radio on and it's got a little beach music going on and stuff going on back and forth where you kind of know that
it's time to shag.
Yeah. Got about the shag. That's right. The real shag is the Europe kind of shag.
Oh, that's right. Is it a red light? I don't know. What kind of light is this? A romantic light?
No, it's just a nice little fish, seashell. It's like it's a seashell with a little light in it that puts on some ambiance. And,
okay.
So you might want to think about, something like that.
Get yourself a seashell.
Help keep the romance going and everything. So, and I just hope everything goes well for both of you and that everything works out for both of you.
I got another idea. She could also walk down the hall wearing nothing but saran wrap. That's fun. It's cling wrap. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
not a sponsor, but it'd be a hell of a way to get a sponsor. Get yourself some saran wrap, wrap around your naked body, and walk down the hallway for some instant romance. If you order now, we'll throw in a free seashell light. It's the Dispatches from Myrtle Beach romance package. Cling wrap and a seashell light. How's that sound, Dad? And satin sheets.
Well,
I know you big on satin sheets.
I ain't too crazy. Them things is too slick.
What do you think about fall? You just slide right off the bed. What do you think about my cling wrap idea?
Well, I got to think.
Think about it.
I got to think about that.
You see through. It can be, if you wrap it in the right way, it can be supportive.
Yeah.
It can. It's like wearing. It can be like wearing Spanx or Skims. If you know what that is. It holds everything in place.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to. Is a challenge in unwrapping it. You got to find. You got to. It's like finding the end of a roll of tape. When you're trying to unroll tape. It's like you got to find where the beginning of the end of the cling wrap is, so you know where to start doing that. And once you grab that, you can just yank it and you can spin her like a top
around in a circle.
Oh yeah, make her dizzy, and then she falls right in the bed.
Yeah.
And hey, she can do it to you too. I don't recommend you both being wrapped up in saran wrap at the same time, because then neither one of you can get out, and then you need a third person, and well, that's totally different type of endeavor.
I'm telling you.
So we're not going to go there, but hey, that's it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Cling wrap it up. Give it a shot.
That's interesting.
And email my dad and let him know how it went, please.
Yep. Yeah. Let us know how it went. So email us again and let us know. It sounds like you're in a beautiful place that you're at anyway.
That's right.
I wouldn't think that it'd be that hard
Right.
being romantic in Bermuda anyway. So
there you go.
But I don't know. But I hope everything goes well for you, Casey, and your boyfriend. So y'all take care. And you didn't. Hey, you could have given us his name.
Right. Boyfriend.
But
Is that all she said?
boyfriend.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, you're full of advice today. I love it.
Well,
helping the Myrtle Beasts.
Well, Link, it looks like we've come to the end of another session today. And it was fun having y'all here with us today. And we'll be back next week for another one. And don't forget to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts on YouTube. And while you're at it, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
And if you got a question, comment, or story you'd like to share with me, email me at ratherbeshaggin53@aol.com. So y'all have a great rest of the week, and we can't wait to electrify your ears again next time.
Ooh, that's what you do. Yeah. Electrify your ears and cling wrap your nakedness.
So just keep sending them emails in. Link, it's been fun talking to you again today. And
I learned something new every time.
Another week.
Yep.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.